Hello, ZZZ proxies, it's your boy Josh, and you just came from the 3.0 special program, more than likely. How did you enjoy it? I'm so excited for all the new content coming up, and here on the channel, we are going to be breaking down a bunch of things from combat to the new events and regional content and more. But here in today's video, we're going to be talking about all of the characters coming to the banners of the new Season 3 of Zenless. If you weren't there for the special program, here's a small recap. We are getting 2 new units in the form of Valina and Norma, and reruns to Yeshunguang and Suna. And do these new and rerunning units have what it takes to pry away your polys from arguably 2 of the greatest legacy characters that Zenless has to offer? Let's discuss the pull value of our 3.0 available agents and give you the power to make the best choices as we head into a whole new look of ZZZ. Folks, let's start with our first big reason why you might be wanting to shell out a couple of polys, or should I say 2 big reasons. Let's firstly discuss the first new Season 3 unit who's already introduced herself in the most elegant of ways. It's Valina. Now, Valina coming in as the new It Girl, being affiliated with Wind and Anomaly should be something of a gimme. 1000% must have pull value, yes? Well, yeah, there's going to be Wind content coming slowly to the game, but the ZZ devs have done an okay job with at least giving us the ability to make sure we're able to complete content without it. But why am I already short selling Valina? Excuse my manners. Let's talk about what Valina does bring to the table, and that is the new Wind attribute anomaly interactions of Vortex and Windswept. For those unfamiliar, we will be doing a deeper dive into how these new attribute anomaly tree works, so make sure you're subscribed. I can see that red bar and it's not pressed. How else are we gonna get to 40k subs on YouTube and have you and Twitch chat decide what next IRL cosplay I do at a convention? So Windswept is an attribute anomaly effect much like freeze, burn, or corruption. That actually will persist for 20 seconds and take the presumed disorder reactions you'll be doing during this duration and turn them into Vortex, which you've already been exposed to with the Horizon boss in the previous patch leading up to here. So with this, we're able to buff final damage as well as lead to some classic units coming back to the fold like Jane Doe or even Grace. Oh god. But not only that, we could even see a whole new subsection of alt anomaly teams come to the fold simply for the fact that other units who are conventionally non-anomaly can use her to create vortexes to buff their damage and also help clear wind-oriented content. This is where we take a turn from the narrative of wind being restrictive for anomalies to opening up the floodgates for even wackier team comp variations that we've never seen before. And that hopefully will lead to a larger team diversity as a whole during Season 3. But I'm putting the cart before the horse. Josh, what does Valina actually do? Well, Valina is going to be pushing a bunch of anomaly, and she actually converts energy regen to anomaly mastery to be able to push even more. A fun stat conversion gimmick that we saw with Jshoea to not so great effects. But here as Valina is more of a driver for anomaly and wanting to flap her fan as much as possible, this helps out a ton with how aggressive she can be and how much more damage we can output with those new anomaly interactions. And of course, we can't forget about the ult that's straight out of Tamari's book. Valina's damage stems very much from the effectiveness of the paired anomaly, and her animations are bombastically as big as her beautiful personalities. So if you're in the market for pairing your Promeas, Janes, Bernices with a new age anomaly unit, Valina is the pull to kick off the new season with. But we're only at the tip of the iceberg, because there comes a juggernaut, one rooted in deep American values. Let's give a big ol' hoorah to our Yankee in arms. It's Norma. With so many gacha games out there and so many characters to grab, it can feel overwhelming. Trust me, I know. Well, that's where today's sponsor comes in, Aniba. Aniba is the best place to top up for our gacha faves. All we have to do is put in our UID, region, select your package, and in no time flat, we're back in business. And the savings are pretty sweet because depending on your region, you can get upwards of 60% cash back. And Aniba's amazing Trustpilot rating, you can top up with confidence alongside 24/7 customer support. They're here for us, folks. With 30,000, I'm sorry, seriously? Dude, that's nuts. Well, 30,000 digital products and growing. Make sure to sign up to Aniba with me so that we can start saving you more cha-ching. Click the link below to let Aniba know they sent you. And thanks to Aniba for supporting the channel. Now, Norma being a fire stun is, well, deeply disturbing because this is the third time in a row that we are seeing a direct power creep of Jufufu. They call it back to back to back, like we on Lethal Weapon. Now, Norma being a fan favorite is no coincidence. Look at her swag, look at her firepower, and look, she's literally doing the Tony Stark. Absolute cinema. But do her overall numbers and pull value justify your consideration? Let's firstly get one thing out of the way for her. It's that if you already have a smorgasbord of cute kawaii stunners and this guy, you've probably already set yourself up very, very well in the stun category. Norma does provide some fun extra goodies, but it's somewhat hard to recommend her when she's coming into a saturated market. That being said, what Norma does is stun and stun phenomenally. And of course, missiles don't just stun, they, well, do damage. And out of a few more conventional stunners outside of the unique case of Nangong and her anomaly damage, Norma's personal damage seems to be quite strong. And with a slew of extra buffs packed in as well as the ability to refund decibels and alter quick assists, she seems to be an in-between of Dylan and Jufufu, making her presence as a supporting cast unit great for those who didn't pick up the phone Thyrin. So where does that leave our cute ball of destruction and chaos? Well, it leaves her now being a great alternative substitute for teams that would want Dial In, and that will just be an upgrade to Jufufu, namely ruptured teams. And she could run it with attackers too. And if you're a bit more desperate, Anomaly. But I assure you that Norma is pretty normal when it comes to stunners and will not be breaking any molds or status quo with her kit, so plug and play away. Now just to quickly address Josh, out of all the new units, will you not be addressing pyrois too? The answer is no, because pyrois is free, baby. Woo! Free, 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 free. Pyros is free, 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 free. You get a pyrois and you get a pyrois and you get a pyrois. So there's no need to talk about a character's pull value when everyone just gets them outright. But if you are interested in how we're able to utilize 4 ults and all the other cool stuffs about our new persona, subscribe, as in a few days we are going to come in with some piping hot and fresh new early access guides for you. So stay tuned. Speaking of returning, now it's time to hit up the rerun characters. Let's start with the elephant in the room, or should I say girlfriend in the room, because she's my beautiful girlfriend. She's so beautiful. Shungus is back, baby, and honestly, I'm happy and somewhat sad at the same time, because this time I am unfortunately going to have to rate her as the worst value pull of the entirety of 3.0. I know, she's my waifu. How could I cheat on her with Ramiel? Oh no, whatever are we gonna do? But that's besides the point. Yeshunguang, as it stands out of the 5 initial available units, is the worst value pick here. And the reason simply comes down to the future outlook of Season 3. As of current, we are in a very anomalous time of our lives. With Wind coming to the fold and other anomaly-based content that includes disorders and blooms are involved, it's tough to bring an attacker into that. Yet the consensus around Shungus hasn't changed. She is the best DPS unit out of Season 2, but that's just it. She's the best out of Season 2. And having been relegated to wanting teammates that are either Dailin or the two other Ether Veil units of Zhao, who are now unavailable, and Suna, well, I'll leave that to Josh in 30 seconds to answer that a bit further. Because there are too many different archetypes of offensive units coming in Season 3, as a creator who is forward-looking and wants to give you the best leg up when it comes to a whole new season, I can't really suggest Yoshinuang without you already having a strong support core and or just wanting her for waifu reasons, which I get. I've M6'd her for crying out loud. Our Void Hunter is just going to fall a bit flat when it comes to future content, but when rotations of miasma-based bosses come around, you know who to pull out. Yes, the queen of minor inconveniences. And if you really don't have a strong attacker unit in your box, either stick with Pyrois, who is already a free and massively cool unit, or diversify and pick up this very forgetful yet adorable sword junkie. And to round out the cast, I've been waiting for this rerun for a very long time. Let's give it up to the random kid. It's Suna from the Angels of Delusion. Now, Suna at first glance didn't seem all too impressive. Just being the band kid version of Gorin and busts that seem worse than Jshoea, what could you gain from Suna? Well, Suna has cemented herself as a very well-paced buffer and synergizes with some of the best DPS units as of this recording. With her flexible playstyle and ability to provide catch-all buffs to attackers and anomalies alike, she is going to be a strong pickup if you are newer, returning, or just lack support presence in your box. And just to talk a bit more about her coverage of the field, she is one of Yeshunguang's aforementioned best supports. She pairs well with her Angel's lead in Arya and can separate off with Nangong to form what I dub the Angel's core. As with those two, you can literally clear any content with how strong their buffing, stunning, and DPS potential are. It's no wonder Suna has the rap that she does. And she ain't even a rapper. As the writing was on the wall, Suna has become a very well-respected support for many teams. Yet the only thing that I would have against her, much like Yeshunguang, is that Ether Veils might not be as important going forward into Season 3. And there will inevitably be sprinkled in with the new cast a few more supports that probably are going to service the new characters better. So if you are wanting to pick up newer cast mates for your box, the reruns, although actually very good, might not be as tempting as they'd want you to believe. Again, all this because we are just at the head of 3.x and wanting to see how the first two patches set us up for the rest of the year. 3.0 and 3.1 will be important in order to set the tone for the rest of our projections going into the end of 2026. Thank you again for tuning in, and we've got way more content to cover in Season 3. If you're wanting to find out more about some of these newer characters and potentially how to build and use them, wait till next week as we are coming out with the early access guide for all of the new Season 3 characters. So make sure to subscribe right now so you can catch them when they drop. And yes, I'm making this declaration. When we hit 40K subscribers on YouTube, we are going to be picking up a cosplay of your guys' choosing and going to a convention and wearing the cosplay IRL. I hope this isn't a bad idea. But my name is Josh. Thank you so much for watching. Click on one of these next videos because YouTube thinks you like it, and we'll see you in the next one.